Hello my friends and welcome back. Thank you very much for being with me again today. A very interesting news coming from Ukraine media outlet. I don't know if I should believe it or not, but supposedly it comes from a Belarusian media outlet taken by the Ukrainians and now taken by me here. And I will tell you why I think this doesn't make sense. But let's go and read the article that comes from Ukrainska Pravda. And the title reads, Belarus transfers additional 24 tanks to Russia. Okay, let's see. Belarus has handed over another 24 T-72A tanks to Russia, bringing the total number of tanks transferred within the last several weeks to 94. This is reported by Belaruski Hajun, an independent Belarusian military monitoring outlet. And it cites Bel's HD live Telegram channel. Details. Belaruski Hajun reported that another 24 T-72 tanks that have been, now is mothballed, moth and then balled, set out from Belarus on 16 October. They are shipped towards the Ukrainian city of Donetsk, which is currently occupied by Russia. Now they say Belarus on October 16th. This article is from yesterday, Friday the 21st. The tanks have been, and now it is at the word, mothballed at the 1969th Tank Reserve Base in Urechye, Luban District, Minsk Oblast, Republic of Belarus. The convoy set out from Urechye rail station towards the Uspensk rail station, Rostov Oblast, Russian Federation, and then on towards Donetsk. The tanks are expected to arrive in Donetsk on the 26th of October. And I'm quoting, this is the sixth group of military equipment brought into service from long-term storage. Oh, that's what is the mothballed. That's what it means. Into the service long-term storage and handed over to the Russian Federation. Over the course of the past few weeks, Lukashenko's regime has handed over at least 94 T-72A tanks and between 36 and 44 Ural transport vehicles to the Russian Federation, Belaruski Hajun said. Hajun reported that on the 14th of October, Belaruski Hajun reported that over the previous week, Belarus had handed over at least 67 T-72A tanks and 28 Ural trucks to Russia. I wouldn't think and I wouldn't expect that the Russians would need tanks, and I still don't think this is real. Not real that it's not happening, but is it because doesn't make sense, because the Russians deploy military and weapons into Belarus, and the Belarus sends to Russia tanks. Remember, they're going to send about 9,000 fighters personnel, the Russians, into Belarus. Then they will send S-300, S-400s and transport trucks and whatever else. It was an article I covered about 2 days ago, I think it was like that. And the Russians are patrolling the border of Belarus and Ukraine with fighter jets. I don't understand. Why would they need it? Now, obviously, I don't think that the tanks were not sent. I'm just trying to figure out why. And I'm not thinking, I could not agree that the Russians need it and they don't have it. Maybe they don't. I leave that little door open somewhere. Obviously, they need it because they take it, according to these guys. But I don't think the Russians don't have tanks. That would be like, I don't know, a swimmer doesn't have, I don't know, Speedos or something. Really? That's one thing. The other thing is, if you look at you can access many sites, and not only sites, and find out how many tanks Russia had before this invasion and how many tanks the Ukrainians claim they'd blown up, Russian tanks. And Another thing is, the tanks, as far as I know, it's an offensive weapon. It's an offensive weapon. It can cover terrain and go forward. Now you can use it defensively, but it's for offensive. Now if they get 24, which I don't think it's a great number, to be honest, if you have about, I don't know, 300, yeah, that's okay. But 24 is like, okay, bing, 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 out, really. So they go to Donetsk. It's going to be over there an offensive. Seems like. I don't think you're going to need tanks just to, to defend that, unless you don't have anything else. You don't have any firepower anymore. I don't know the situation over there, because they're all lie, including the ones who say they're experts. I'm not an expert, but I'm not an idiot. So, not being an expert, the first requirement is not to be an idiot. Okay, so I got the first one out of, 3,000 other requirements that I don't have. But I'm just saying, it's just, I don't know. If they say so, they say so. And they, transferred, that would bring everything to 90 some, they said 94 tanks. That means they're in very much need of tanks, obviously. Well, thank you very much for being with me again today. Stay strong, stay smart, look for the truth, and be just.